Hey y'all, I needed to take a break from prepping for telling you more about my table read for my script for Anatomy of a Love Song to rant about my least favorite screenwriting advice of all time, because it just reared its ugly head again and I cannot keep quiet. Now what's this advice? It's not even advice, it's more of an admonition. It's, you can't do that unless you're Quentin Tarantino. Only Aaron Sorkin can write like that. Try writing that paragraph as long as you're Shane Black. As if Shane Black and Quentin Tarantino and Aaron Sorkin are some sort of screenwriting gods that have come down anointed from the mountain, licensed to do whatever they want in their scripts. And us peons down below can only hope to one day be able to break the rules of screenwriting and write how we want. But we haven't been anointed yet. We're not good enough yet. It's bullshit. Quentin Tarantino and Shane Black and Aaron Sorkin weren't born Quentin Tarantino and Shane Black and Aaron Sorkin. They were born just like us, people who want to write. And so they wrote. They practiced, revised, they took on feedback, they wrote some more, they watched movies, they studied tons and tons of hard work in order to find and develop their own voice and their own style. A way that they can tell the stories that they want to tell in the way that they want to tell them. Now that's not something that only Quentin Tarantino and Shane Black and Aaron Sorkin can do. That's something that we all can do as writers. We just have to be willing to put the hard work in, writing, understanding how our brain works and what quirks of ours work well to tell the stories that we want to tell. We have to just find our voice. And then we can break the screenwriting rules. I'm not going to talk about rules in general because it's a whole bullshit construct, but Quentin Tarantino and Aaron Sorkin, the way they break the rules is by writing long scenes of dialogue in a world where screenplays should be just in and out with an economy of words and an economy of lines as quickly as possible to communicate what you need to say in order to keep the story moving forward, because we only have 120 minutes or so, maybe more, maybe less, depending on the genre and your audience and basically how much you can get away with to tell the story we want to tell. In that world, they're writing 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 pages of dialogue. Aaron Sorkin's able to condense that down from the 12 pages to like 6 minutes because he knows the rhythm that the dialogue should be spoken at. And Quentin Tarantino sets up characters with really interesting conversations to keep us engaged so that we trust that whatever is happening is revealing character and going to take us someplace interesting with the story. They're breaking those rules. And Shane Black, he talks directly to the reader in his descriptions. He gives us a sense of tone from the get-go by talking about how he's going to buy a multi-million-dollar mansion with the advance he gets from writing the screenplay. And that kind of cockiness shows us that we're not looking at any ordinary Hollywood mansion when we're in one of Shane Black's movies. We're looking at a Hollywood mansion with a bit of an ego, but like in a cool way. We know exactly what kind of movie we're watching, what kind of tongue-in-cheek tone it's going to take from the first sentence of his script. His descriptions might be a little bit longer, it might be a little bit more involved and more descriptive in terms of some intangibles than other people's. But he is telling us how we're going to watch his movie, how his movie is going to feel from these descriptions. It's not purple prose, it has a purpose. So if you want to break the rules of screenwriting, if you want to develop a voice that allows you to tell the stories you want to tell in a way that you want to tell them, here's what you have to do. You have to be like Quentin Tarantino and Shane Black and Aaron Sorkin. Not because they're Academy Award winning, nominated, multi-million-dollar advance winning screenwriters, but because they have developed their voices and they have confidence in them and know that the things that they are writing, the ways that they are breaking those rules are necessary for the story, for telling it, for communicating it. That the things that they're adding are interesting. It's going to keep the reader's attention, and that it communicates something essential about the characters, about the story, about the tone. But you do that, you create a voice that allows you to put in things that are necessary, interesting, and essential into your screenplay in a way that's slightly unconventional, and you're gonna make a name for yourself. I mean, it takes skill, a lot of skill. It's not just saying, oh, I think it's necessary and interesting and essential, so it's going to be in my screenplay and I can do it. No, you have to be prepared to take a lot of flack, a lot of criticism for adding these elements into your scripts because they're not usual. But as long as you take the criticism, take it on board, rewrite, revise, rethink the way that you're communicating your ideas, you'll eventually have your voice developed. You'll have a way of breaking the rules developed so that people read a script and know that it has your signature all over it without even looking at the title page. So when you hear, you can't write like that because you're not Quentin Tarantino or Aaron Sorkin or Shane Black or whoever your screenwriting legend is, think, yeah, I can't write that way because I'm me and I write something different and they can't write the way I can. They're not going to communicate the way I can, and that is special and awesome and great. And now I just need to figure out how I'm going to break the rules to make my own style so that in my case, people can say, well, you can't do that unless you're Paige Feldman. And to that I'll say, yeah, they can't, but I can't do whatever they can. Thanks so much for listening to my rant, you all, and I'll be back next week with more from Cape Fight Presents The Making Of, including information on the table read that I'm going to be putting together. Let's go SAG-AFTRA. We got one more strike to resolve. Thanks, y'all. See you next week.